remember about 1 year ago when I first graduated college, or actually, let's bring it back a little bit further. Around the time, 2, 3, 4 months before graduating college, I started to really think about what I was going to do after graduation. What was I gonna work? Was I gonna start a business, an online business? Where was I headed? I honestly had no idea. I'm gonna be very real with you guys. Throughout my college experience, I did not make the most of it when we talk about career wise or even academically. Never really applied to any internships, didn't really try to get any impressive jobs on campus to put on my resume. I pretty much was chilling the whole time. I'm not gonna lie, I woke up the last 4 to 5 months of college. And of course, this was also around the time where I realized that it wasn't gonna be so easy to get a job. I used to think that if you just went to college, you got a degree in something, useful, not gender studies or historical African Nigerian studies, something really random like that. If you got a good degree in business and engineering or whatever, you'd be able to get a job out of college relatively easily. I mean, that's the whole point of dropping all that money on university, so you can at least guarantee yourself a good career path and a way to make some money. Things were not as I had thought. Of course, the job market right now, or over these past 3, 4 years since COVID, has been terrible. It is extremely difficult for people to get jobs. Even people with experience, people with advanced degrees like masters are struggling. Everyone is struggling. So at around this time, I realized I was also going to struggle. I wasn't gonna just apply to a few jobs and be able to get the job, right? So I can tell you guys, December, January, February, I'm applying like crazy throughout this whole period. February, then March, then it's getting closer to graduation. I'm starting to get worried. Started thinking like, yo, I'm gonna graduate with this degree. I have student debt. I'm gonna end up with no job. I started applying to work as a bank teller. This is a job that pays like $16, $17 an hour. It's a job that doesn't even require a college degree. And even from that, I was getting rejected. I mean, it was rejections left and right. It's absolutely insane. Which also makes me think that the value of a college degree has dropped drastically. But anyways, let's stay on topic. So I was just hoping for anything at this point. Then it was about 2 months. I remember it was April. Then the graduation was in May. So once it came April, man, I was like, I will take anything now. I'm extremely desperate. So I'm applying. And then I get a relatively decent job offer or the opportunity at a pretty big company, one of the biggest companies in the world, actually. I'm not gonna mention it, but hey, I was like, this is a job, it's gonna pay decent, it's gonna be better than working at a bank as a bank teller for sure. It's gonna allow me to save up some money. I was also planning on getting my master's, so I had no choice but to get a job that was gonna help me pay for classes and just in general. You're a 22-year-old, you wanna have some money in the bank, you wanna have a real job to help you pay for stuff. So once I got the job, I didn't even really look into what it was. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The interview process wasn't much about how well you know the company or how well you know the position or what you're going to be doing in the role, but more so just kind of yourself. And I'm pretty good at speaking at interviews. I've practiced speaking a lot with just the camera. So I've gotten pretty good at talking to others during interviews, especially talking about myself. I love doing that. So I go through the interview process. I feel like I'm killing it. It was one over the phone, one with a longer interview that was about an hour long with 3 different people interviewing you. Felt like I did good, man. I was praying for it. I said, this is my last chance. If I don't get this job, I'm done. But eventually they sent me the offer. Hey, you got the job. And I'm like, yo, I made it. I didn't even really look into what I was going to be doing in the role. I didn't really look into if I was going to enjoy that role. I told you I didn't care. I saw it was a big company and I was going to get money, more than minimum wage. I was in there. So I get the job. And the set start date wasn't until August. So, I had the little summer to just hang out. Honestly, I did not think about the job at all. I did not think about work. I said, hey, it's in August. I'm going to live this summer up. It's going to be my last real summer break where I get the whole, 2 to 3 months. I was hanging out, chilling, went on a vacation. And I was just like, I have everything, set up to start in August. So I don't have to worry about anything right now. I don't got to think about anything. So as we get closer to the start date in August, I get an email from the company, like kind of describing the role, like, hey, we're gonna have this information session. And I'm like, all right, whatever, cool. The role was in sales and I enjoy sales. I think it's interesting. It wasn't something I was very opposed to. However, the product knowledge or the stuff that I know about what we're going to sell was not great. It's not my forte. It's not an industry I'm very interested in. So once the work started, Was the job started, I trained, I'm like, everything's gonna be cool. Training was a few months long. I learned a little bit about the product. Doesn't really matter if I know much about it. They didn't really focus on that in training, so that wasn't really the emphasis. We were taught sales methodology, so not really much about what we were actually selling. So I'm like, all right, I know the sales methodology, I'm gonna be good. So the role starts, and I'm starting to realize it's a lot more technical than we were told, right? And in sales in general, I have this belief, this ideology that you should know what you're selling to a not an extremely deep level. You don't have to be an extreme expert to sell something, but you should have a very strong grasp in it, right? Confidence comes from competence, and if you're not competent in talking about what you're selling, and if you don't know anything about it, or you don't know the roles of the people you're talking to, you're going to struggle. And in all honesty, you're not going to enjoy it very much. So as the year started, as work started after training, and I'm doing my masters and everything, I started to realize how much I did not enjoy selling what I was selling. I feel like if you know your product and you believe in your product and you understand the industry and you like the industry and you have genuine interest in it, then you have a genuine interest in selling it and you have a genuine interest in speaking to these people. Fortunately for me, that was not the case. So I was not enjoying my role at all after, 6, 7 months passed. It was great to, make money every 2 weeks, get paid, be able to pay off my master, be able to just buy necessities and things that I needed. But it was a struggle. I was very, very unhappy. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. And the unhappiness of just every few weeks I get unhappy because I wasn't really enjoying it, soon turned into being unhappy every day, being unhappy every week. And I reached a point where it was not something I really wanted to do anymore. So here we go again with the job searching process. And the economy, guess what, is worse than it was at last year. So once again, it was a struggle, man. I was looking for jobs for 4 to 5 months in the industries that I enjoy, which is marketing, online marketing, digital marketing, e-commerce. This is my bread and butter. This is what I love. I can talk about it all day. I can sell it. I know about all the products. I have experience in it. So I found myself kind of locked out of this world that I wanted to enter, and it is a struggle to enter this world because marketing or e-commerce in general, whether it's a sales role, whether it's an actual marketing role, in this world is very competitive. So it was a struggle. 5 months, imagine 6 months of applying to hundreds of jobs. I swear to y'all, I applied to hundreds of jobs, tried all different strategies while at the same time being unhappy at my current job. But let me tell you guys one thing. That makes you stronger, right? When you stick through something, even though when you're not exactly super happy to go to work, you're not very excited, it makes you stronger. And let me tell you guys another thing. I absolutely do not recommend quitting your job before you found another one. I know a lot of people out there like, just do what makes you happy. Take a little break for your bro. I need money, right? I need to get paid every 2 weeks. So for me, that was not an option. I had student debt, I got bills to pay, and I got my master's to pay for. So I wasn't gonna just quit my job before I found a new one. However, it made me extremely strong mentally to go to a job I didn't really enjoy, but still push through it, still do what I had to do even when I didn't feel like it, while at the same time applying to all these jobs, hundreds of jobs, and getting rejected. Rejection after rejection after rejection every single day. And I've tried out a bunch of different strategies, talked to career coaches. Nothing was working out. Everything these people would tell me wouldn't work out. So I knew I had to change something, but I also knew at the same time I couldn't quit my job. And I'm gonna say it again, I definitely don't recommend you guys quitting your job, but the effort you're putting into finding a new job. Let me tell you guys now the key in this whole entire video, the strategy that helped me secure a job in an industry that I am interested in and be able to finally leave this job that I didn't really enjoy. And this is nothing against the company, but it was just what exactly I was selling. It's not an industry I'm interested in. The people I was talking to, I wasn't really interested in their roles. I was looking to talk to marketing people day and night, talk about e-commerce day and night. That's my enjoyment. That's just fun to me. It's not even a job. So I was looking for a job where I would just have fun all day long doing what I love, whilst at the same time doing the actual job and being able to work hard at it, and then just learning and learning every single day about something that I actually enjoy. So this is what I did. After all these times of trial and error, failure over and over again, I realized I had to make a solid strategy. Gone are the days where you can just apply to 100 jobs on LinkedIn and hear back from someone and get like a few interviews. That doesn't exist anymore. If you just go and do the quick apply on LinkedIn for 1,000 jobs, unless you have 10 years of experience in a PhD or something crazy on your resume, I highly doubt you're going to get a response. Because if you notice, when you applied, look at how many other people have applied for that job. hundreds of people. So you have to do something that sets you apart from the rest of these people. Now, the first strategy I used that didn't work out too well was I would apply and then I would find the hiring manager and I would just cold message the hiring manager, the person who was, or the recruiter, whoever was in charge of that particular role. I would send them a cold message introducing myself, saying a few things about me, why I would be a good fit for the role, and sending them my resume. This, I only got, I think, maybe one reply from it, and it didn't lead anywhere. And I tried it over 50, 60 times, and it just absolutely did not work. So then again, once I had a good enough sample size, I realized, hey, this wasn't working, let me try something else. Then the next strategy, which is what eventually got me my job that I am going to go into now, in an industry that I enjoy a lot, in a job where I'm going to have a lot of fun, a role where I'm going to have a lot of fun, was I made a short list of, you can do 7, 8, 9, up to 10 companies that you're interested in, right? Research these companies, make sure you know about them, make sure you understand the industries. Not just random companies that are going to pay you a lot that are big, like Google, Amazon, and Microsoft, without knowing anything about them, thinking you're going to get those roles because they're extremely competitive. If you don't have, a bunch of years of experience like myself, just 1 year, or you're straight out of college, it's not going to look very good for you, especially if you didn't have any internships. Like I told y'all previously, my resume before the job that I held previous to the one I'm going to go into now, before the job I'm currently in right now as I go into my next one actually, I didn't have that much experience in college in terms of internships. I had a lot of my own businesses, I did things on my own which did help me out, but in terms of actual industry experience, I didn't have much of it. So without having much of that, our internship is going to be a struggle to get into those huge companies. But make a short list of companies that you understand, that you know the industry, that you would enjoy working at. Make it 7 to 8 long, write it down. These are the companies you are going to focus on in your outreach. You're not just going to wait for them to upload a job and then cold message the hiring manager, the director, or the recruiter. None of that. You're going to switch it. This is what I did. With this short list, I went and connected with as many people as possible from these companies. 7 of them I would try to connect with, about 10 to 15, to just send as many connection requests on LinkedIn as you can to people at these companies. Once you've sent those connection requests, only about 10, depending on your LinkedIn profile, and if you don't have a profile picture, not that no one's probably going to connect back with you, but if you have all those things and they actually have a fully filled LinkedIn profile, people are going to connect back. I would say about 20 or 30% of whatever amount you send out requests to is going to connect back. So on average, that'll be about 7 or 8 people from this company or these companies that connect back, which is great. At the same time, you're checking the listings, the job listings at these companies to see if they're posting anything new. If they've previously posted a position that you'd be interested in, even if it was a month or 3 weeks ago or 2 months ago, nonetheless, you're going to find that role and then you're going to go again and connect with people in this role. This exact specific role, you're going to connect with as many of them as possible at these companies. Once that amount of people connect back with you, now you have about 10 to 15 to maybe even 20 people from each one of these companies connected with you. Guess what that's going to help with? When you start reaching out to these people, they're going to see that you have mutual connections. They're going to see that you're connected with 10, 11, 12 other people from their company. And they're going to be like, hold on, this guy's kind of, this guy, this girl, they're kind of close. They're close by. They're not just some random person cold connecting with me. You have no relation at all. You're going to have those mutual connections. This increases the likelihood that these people are going to reply to you when you message them, right? So now you got a few of them. Now you've connected with people in the roles that you are interested in all these companies. Once you've connected with these people, you're going to send them a short message to learn more about their role. Now in this message, keep it brief, keep it quick. Say your name, say why you're reaching out. Hey, I came across your profiles. I was looking for people in this role at this company. I just noticed that you've recently been promoted. I'd like to say congratulations on the promotion. The reason I'm reaching out is because I recently applied for this role as well, and I'd love to learn more about your experience at this company. Do you have 10 to 15 minutes for us to connect and speak over Zoom this week or next week, depending on your availability? Condense that a little more, make it shorter, but this is the overall template of it is introduce yourself, who you are, why you're reaching out, how you came across your profile. That's 1 sentence or 2. Say something about them. If they got a recent promotion, tell them congrats. And then the call to action is, hey, I'd love to learn more about your role. Do you have this much time for us to speak? Send that out. Now you're going to have a much better chance at going at these companies, right? If they reply back to you, now you get 10 to 15 minutes with them. You learn about their role. Now here's the next part. You learn about the role, you know what they do on a daily basis. You learn even more about the company. They might tell you some little nuggets of knowledge right there, something that others who are applying just straight up on LinkedIn are probably not gonna know. They've not spoken to anyone. Now we're gonna leverage this even more. So you take down the notes, you say, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Do you mind telling me who your current manager, you don't have to do this exactly this way, but do you mind telling me who the manager is? I'd love to learn even more about the role if you mind referring me to them. I hope I'm not asking for too much, but do you mind referring me to the manager? We'll see. If they say yeah, they might say no, whatever. If they say no, okay, cool, thank you so much for your time. Now, once that role gets posted again, at a new posting, you're gonna go and reach out to the hiring manager, the recruiter, the director who's hiring for that role. Once you message them, they're gonna see that you've already connected with 10 to 15 people at their company. You're gonna have a ton of mutuals. Makes it more likely that they're gonna see your message. It makes it more likely they're gonna connect with you, then reply. When you reach out to them, you're gonna say, hey, I'm very interested in this role. I've spoken to so-and-so and I learned a lot about it. It was very helpful, and it looks like something where I can see myself pursuing this role, because say a few things why you think you'd be a good fit. Here's my resume, and I'd love to speak with you further about my qualifications. Boom, send. Now you've increased your likelihood by so much versus just going out, clicking apply, and getting the job, right? I hope you guys save these techniques, you use them. This is gonna help you learn more about the industries. Even if it doesn't help you get in contact with the director or whoever it may be, or the hiring manager, or the recruiter, you're gonna know more about the role. So if you do get an interview, you're gonna know what to say, you're gonna be better prepared for it, you're gonna have other connections at that company. It's gonna help you out a ton. This is a very similar approach to what I used to help me switch from a job that I didn't really enjoy to now going into a role, accepting the offer that I know I'm going to enjoy because it's in my favorite industry. I hope this brought value to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a comment down below with any questions, and I'll see you in the next one.